The third mistake that people do when they're trying to learn how to do nail art is not minding the product that is used. I see this very, very often, even on my own designs. I use gel paint, and I say I use gel paint, and then someone else does it, and they do a great job, but it brings them down a lot because they use the gel polish instead, and it doesn't look as good as it could. Now, I understand the problem with having to buy so many products, because I know I've been there and I grew my collection in years. Yes, it took me years, and I still don't have everything that I want or need. Everything that I want. But trying to make a gel polish act like a gel paint is never going to happen, because gel paints are made to be very pigmented, to stay in place so they don't move a lot whilst you're painting with them. You have to worry less about curing in between strokes and different things like that. Whereas a gel polish, it moves around, it does what it wants, because it's not made necessarily for painting. Yes, there are some brands that have very pigmented gel polish that you can paint with, and is gonna look beautiful at the end, but not all the brands are like that, and there are millions of brands out there. So you really need to think of the product that you're using when you're trying to recreate something. I'm going to show you a difference that I found even between like gel paints and even between like different things. So all three of these are going to be gel paints, not gel polish, and you're going to see how much of a difference it makes having the brand that maybe you can see advertised or whatever. But I'm not saying necessarily you go and buy every single brand that you see, but try to find something that is gonna work perfectly. So that was our first gel paint. Yeah, this is our second one. And then this one is our third one. So I made 2 lines with each and every one of them. And you can see that the difference between the first and the second and the third is the fact that the first is actually less pigmented. You can see here that it is a very thin line, but you can't really see it. So if you're trying to like paint something with it, that is not gonna show at all. Whereas with the second one, I went in with a very thin line, and that's still pigmented, and also it kept its shape, whereas this one, it's spread around a little bit. So you can see it just goes and spreads around even on a matte surface. And then with this one is not bad, but then you can see it's a bit more liquidy than this one. So it spread around a little bit more at the tip here, but that's fine, we can fix that. So I would always go with the second one because that is good. It's a good gel paint. And I trialed many brands before I learned that not every single thing that a brand has is necessarily good. So you can find, in my opinion, because I know there are many people that are against the whole mixing brands type of thing when you do certain stuff, but I do think that for gel paints, for brushes, it doesn't necessarily matter what brand you're gonna use. So you can, keep your gel polishes all the same, keep your extension stuff, building stuff all the same. So, builder gel, acrylic, all the same brand. That goes with the lamp as well, and that goes with But then you don't have to do that with the gel paints and the brushes, because that's going to be on the top of it. That's not going to touch your natural nail or your client's nails, and it's going to be in a small amount. So to be honest, I don't think it matters. As long as you wear gloves and everything, and you find something else from another brand that is going to be very, very good, just use that. You don't have to keep into the same brand. You don't have to keep anything like that. But that's my own opinion. I know people are gonna like jump at my throat for it, but oh well. So yes, this, you can see that while I stayed here and talked, that top one spread even more, and you can see it's even more foggy. The middle one is still sharp. This one spread a bit more. So yeah, it's trial and error. And I think one of the most important things that you learn as a nail technician is what to use when. Because I went through so many things. I bought so many things because I've seen them somewhere. I've seen someone use them that I really, really liked. And I thought, oh my God, if they are using it, then that means that's a good product. But just trial. I usually, when I buy something from a brand, a gel paint or something like that, I usually go for white and black. A gel polish, if I want to try a new brand, I again buy white and black, because if they don't nail those two colors, I don't know what else they're gonna nail. So yeah, that's my third advice. My fourth advice, I'm gonna talk about experience and about why your nails are not actually looking like a nail influencer's nails. Although you're using, let's say you're using the same tips, you're using the same products, you're using the same size tips, you're using absolutely everything the same, even the background is the same as the nail, that as the influencer that you're following or as your tutors. Yeah, so everything is the same. Why isn't your art looking exactly like theirs? And that is all based on experience, because a good tutor, a good nail technician, a good nail artist is gonna know how that product performs, and is gonna know how to make it look shiny and beautiful. Yeah, so I have here two brushes. Yeah, one is a very good brush that I always use, and the other one, again, this is not about branding, but you know already what I'm using. And the other one, you've seen it before in my videos, and I use it for inks. Yeah, so it's probably a Poundland brush. It looks horrendous. It has glitter all over it and pigment. And then I cut it as well, as you can see. Yeah, you can see. And it's split in the middle because the inks do that. The inks will ruin your brush. And obviously it doesn't have any gel in it because I keep it in a jar instead of putting it in my nice case of brushes. So it doesn't deserve that place. But this brush has been through a lot. But I can still make this brush look like a good brush. Even though it looks so jagged, you know, give it a bit of a cleanup if I want to. I'm not going to give it a cleanup because that's no point. That's resources wasted. But I'm going to show you how I can still paint with this. So I have here my nail with a matte top coat on. And I am using the same gel paint with both brushes. And I'm gonna go in first with my good brush. And I'm just gonna do some lines, really easy. If I could stop my hands from shaking, it would be great, but I can't. What am I doing, you might ask? I have no idea. It's some kind of design. And there you go. So that was my good brush. Yeah, I know how that works. I've used it multiple times. I have done a lot with it. Yeah, that brush has been through a lot as well. And now I'm working through the paint with my other brush, and I'm trying to like fill it up with paint. And let's see how I do with this one. I would say the lines are quite nice and neat, wouldn't you? Of course, again, it might be my shaky hands as well. But, yeah. And if a jagged brush can do that, then that means a brand new one that might not be a great quality one can still do that. But that was my point. If someone knows how to work with a brush, they might be able to work with a very good brush and with a very bad brush. If someone knows how to work with a product that is not great, they might be able to work with both a good product and with a bad product. That's my point. So if you feel bad for trying exactly the same thing that nail influencer is trying, and you're struggling and you've done that thing 10 times and you still haven't managed to do it, you really don't have to feel bad about yourself, because they have the experience behind them. You are a beginner, and it's fine because we've all been beginners. But what I do recommend is when buying a new product, try it, play with it for a bit before you actually go on and do it on a client. Work with it on yourself, because it's a difference from using a product that is on the palette or in a jar, or and using it on an actual nail, because this nail here is cold, is the same temperature as the room, so it's going to be about 22 23 degrees Celsius, a bit more, a bit less, depends on your preferences. And the human skin is going to go 36 37. Obviously that's going to warm it up. That's more than 10 degrees Celsius difference. So when that happens, that product's going to spread, and it's going to act completely different than on a nail or on a practice hand. So you need to keep that in mind as well. But yes, you need to keep in mind that you don't have to feel sorry because your nails don't look the same as that nail tutor or nail influencer or person that, I don't know, taught you how to do it. I have no idea who you're watching on or what you're watching, but you don't have to feel bad about, not being at their level, because you're not at their level. They have 10 years experience. They have a background in drawing. They have something or other. So be at your own level. That's what I mean. All right, let's move on to the fifth one. So the next and last tip for today, because this video is already going to be about half an hour long, is to stop comparing yourself with others. Even if your friend started at the same time as you and her work already kind of looks better than yours, in your opinion, obviously, because she probably thinks that her work doesn't look good at all and yours looks better, because every single person does this. I did it. I still do it sometimes, just but you need to stop comparing with them, because their nail journey is completely different from yours. She might have another 5 hours to practice each day. You probably have kids. If you don't have kids, I don't know, you have a job, you have a full-time job that you come home and you're stressed out, and the last thing on your mind is practice. But she might just be there all the time practicing, or she might just have a bit of background in arts, whereas you couldn't, like me, draw a stick man before you started doing nails. So obviously you're not going to be at the same level as her, because she has a trained eye for it, or she just might be better and more inclined towards this. That doesn't mean that you cannot learn, but the first thing you need to do is to stop yourself comparing yourself to others, because their work is their work. At the end of the day, you are working for yourself. You are working to improve yourself. You can't. I see people comparing themselves to like really big influencers, people that have been in the industry for 20, 25 years, and saying, oh, my work doesn't look as good as yours. I tried to do your design, but just didn't come out right. And I do this. I am guilty of this. And I probably put this here more for myself as well, because I need to learn. But that's a big mistake, because you're never going to be as good as the person that did nails for 25 years until you get to that point in your life, obviously. But right now, you just started. You have 6 months, 3 months since you started doing nails, and you already want to paint, I don't know, realistic animals on your nails. That's not going to happen unless you practice each day for 20 hours. I don't know. It takes a very, very, very long time for it. And it made me think, when I first started my videos for the beginner nail art videos that I started on my channel, it made me think to look back at my beginner designs and to maybe show you that these are not great either. They are bad. But at the time when I actually did them, I thought they were amazing. I thought they are the best thing that I could ever do. Sorry, they are on the other side. I thought they're the best thing I could ever do. I thought I'm never gonna get better than this. And look at that. Look at those lines. That's just no. Right now, I couldn't imagine myself being at that level ever again. But back then, this level, for me, was amazing. And I was happy with it. I think the better I got, the more I started to judge my own work and to think, oh my God, that's just bad. That's not okay. But before, when I first started, I was actually proud of every single line and stroke that I ever did. I always thought that, oh my God, this is amazing. Everything that I'm doing it looks so good. I'm growing. And then at some point when my work started to actually look okay, these are roses. Yeah, they're roses. They're a bit, like the top coat didn't really hold up very well over the years. So they're a bit matte now and horrible. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys these. This was my first Stewie painting, and I was so happy with it. It took me 2 hours to do this. 2 hours. And I was so amazed to look at him and be like, oh my God, I did this. Because I've never done something like this in my life. And I just managed to do it. But then the longer I started doing things, I decided that Stewie was not okay. And the next one that I've done was not okay either. And it got worse and worse over the years because I started to be a lot more critical of my own work. And that shouldn't happen. You should still be proud of every single thing you're doing. And you should only compare your work with your older work. So whenever you feel bad, don't ever throw your old work away. Whenever you feel bad and you think, oh my God, I can never paint that, it doesn't look okay, it looks horrible, go through your old tips, see what you did, those 3 lines that you did that you thought they were amazing back then, you started from those and you got to the point where you're at now, and you're gonna get even better in the future. So yeah, I really hope you learned something from this video. I really hope that you didn't get upset, because I did not want to have a go at you. I just wanted to show you some of the things that I've seen as common mistakes that never people never mention them anywhere, and I was baffled to see that no one mentioned them. I've never seen anyone say anything about these things. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed today's video. Next week we're going back to beginner friendly, and then Saturday a nice normal design. So you guys don't get upset with me, please. And I will see you in the next one. Okay, bye.